Welcome back to another amazing episode of Rounds of the Knight's Table. I'm Jim.
I'm Eric.
And today we're going to talk about Dumbo. This film stars Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, Eva Green, Are You Green, and Nico Parker. Directed by Tim Burton, the legendary Tim Burton. This film is about an elephant with gigantic ears.
I think anyone who's anyone knows what Dumbo is.
Dumbo helps save a fledgling circus because he's that act, you know, the flying... Come see the flying elephant.
The piece de resistance.
Oh, shit. He busted out some fancy French. But when the company gets absorbed by Dreamland, Disney, you know, Michael Keaton with his Mugatu wig, it starts to uncover all the problems. Deals with Colin Farrell, who's a war veteran. He came back with no arm and no personality. And his daughter, a know-it-all of all know-it-alls. Of course, educated right in the circus. Who doesn't know everything that lived in a fucking circus? Let's talk about the good. The CGI of the elephants, I thought was pretty good.
Oh, definitely.
I thought they made Dumbo look very adorable. I thought so anyway.
I mean, the little, face wrinkles on the elephants were impeccable.
Danny DeVito as Max, I thought was his typical Danny DeVito self.
Right.
I thought he tried to shoot some life into this movie.
Is it not really, though, the same character like you said from Big Fish?
I mean, that's what I was hoping for anyway, for the plot twist. First half of this movie's okay. It's typical Tim Burton, melancholy, morose, Tim Burton-ness that it possessed. I thought the best moments were when Dumbo was on the screen. One of the small things I appreciated was a little callback to the original film. They're celebrating because they have the hit on their hands with the flying elephant with Dumbo. They're all drinking champagne, and he says, "Oh, keep the alcohol away from the baby." Because in that one, he gets lit. They weren't going to do that in this film. In 2019, no way. No, sir. How come he's not in a bubble? It's the elephant bubbles, which was from the original as well. You were like, what is this shit?
I'm going to say my comment on that for the
So there's that. Michael Buffer shows up in this movie.
Man.
Let's get ready for Dumbo. Funny joke. 20 years too late.
For the role she had, the little girl was actually pretty good in her acting. I mean, she played a know-it-all pretty well.
Little Tandy Newton.
I mean, is it not?
Tandy Newton?
Tandy! You know, I have to give Colin Farrell some props. He had the most consistent accent in the whole film.
Oh, you're ready to talk about the bad?
I think so.
My man just mentioned Colin Farrell. Ugh. Like, I understand he's playing a war vet and all that. I can appreciate war vets and all that they have to go through. But I couldn't appreciate the act in this movie. It was too dead. Even Michael Keaton was a waste.
Oh my God, Michael Keaton.
How do you have...
Look, I'm fine with him trying out the role as the bad guy. Because, you know, I feel like he could pull that off.
Except when he goes up into his own tower at the end and has to break all the controls to help them get away. Bro, it wasn't working in the first place. Why are you flipping every fucking control?
The entire movie, he's sitting there calm, cool, collected. And also, speaking of Michael Keaton, the least consistent accent of this movie. What was this accent supposed to be?
I don't know.
Was it French?
You know what else I did appreciate? It looked a little bit like Gotham in Batman Returns. But this second half of this movie is so goddamn silly. There's a point in this movie where Dumbo's mother, has been taken and sold back to the people that Danny DeVito bought her from and somehow ends up at Dreamland. So Dumbo and the gang have to plot her escape. So he's got to fly Eva Green up to the tower. They cut the power to the whole park so they can get her free. Because, of course, these humans are going to coordinate with this elephant that doesn't fucking speak English.
Well, of course.
For argument's sake, I'll suspend that disbelief. That's fine. But Michael Keaton had to run up that tower and still manage to get there in time.
This is what's terrible.
Bro. And then ran back down in no time flat. What was his Fitbit step count at? Dumbo, here's Jumbo, call from the other side of the world.
Well, I mean, with those satellites.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. And then it flies off to Nightmare Mountain, or Nightmare, whatever, the horror part of the theme park. And discount Christopher Reeve Lex Luthor was like, he's going to Nightmare Island. How do you know? What if he just flew away? It's like, fuck you, Mom. You had your chance at freedom.
I mean, at least say he's going east.
Oh, he's that way. How do you know where he's going? You're so full of shit. While we're talking about it, improbabilities. Let's talk about that Colin Farrell climbing up the side of the tent. I have seen people with disabilities do some amazing things. I saw a teenage boy with cerebral palsy doing pull-ups with the wheelchair attached to his body. I can't do a pull-up freestanding. I saw The Rock jump from a crane into a skyscraper. Oh, that wasn't real? I've seen some amazing shit from people about
I
this
would
movie.
believe Dumbo flying better than Colin Farrell one-armed
Climbing
up the
up
side of that tent.
The side of the tent.
Like, okay, you know,
It's
I'll
like
give
a
it to him. He can hold
90-degree
himself
incline.
up. But when, you gotta let go. How are you letting go? You're not even holding on a little bit with your armpit. I mean, there's no stability. You're standing almost all the way up. You should have fallen backwards, not even just fallen down.
This movie wasn't endearing at all. Like, there was the cute little moments with Dumbo, but it wasn't Christopher Robin.
Oh, no.
Wholesome, endearing, and even that movie was kind of darker, kind of had like a sadder side. But this movie didn't have it. It was so it was so no.
All right, so you said you were okay with the dancing elephant bubbles.
I didn't mind it because the original.
Okay, I'd be fine with that. But you know, you have them say, "Ooh, the pink elephants." They weren't even pink. I mean, either I lost my superchromancy, or the color was just off. But those were not pink. For me, it just did not have any point being there. I get that it's supposed to be a callback to the original, but
It didn't fit.
In my eyes, it failed hard. How did the entire park burn down like that? So easily.
Oh, I know.
I mean, come on. Really?
Well,
I get that fire spreads. I mean, really. I get it. You got so much metal.
I know. And then there's a point. There's a point after this. When Dumbo flies to the boat, and Colin Farrell, being the horse rider that he is, riding through New York City, gets to the boat almost at exactly the same damn time as a flying elephant. And then the end, they're like in some elephant, clearly ends up being the elephant graveyard in Lion King. What about Tim Burton? Oh, man.
Other than a little bit of a letdown here.
I mean, it was kind of what I expected.
You know,
But I was hoping he pulled a fast, like Big Fish was great. I'll continue to contest this as my argument that Tim Burton lost his way when he fell in love with CGI. I understand CGI is necessary for this movie, but he fell in love with it with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it was unnecessary. It's the same with George Lucas. It's the same with all these visionary directors. I'm looking at you too, Steven Spielberg. You ain't off the hook trying to cut Netflix and everything else out too. When they filmed Sleepy Hollow, they leased out a bunch of land, built all those sets. I don't know why they don't do that. I've heard someone say, well, that's too expensive.
But is it?
Is it? You're still spending $200 million.
Because CGI is super expensive nowadays. And I know you had said the other night, Peter Jackson, also heavy CGI.
Heavy CGI,
but at
does
least
not know how to leave anything on the cutting room floor.
But at least with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, they built those Hobbit sets. They built a lot of those sets. They're even still there. They like rent them out now. Yeah. Tim Burton, what did he build? A crappy movie.
My final thought is they could pick this movie up outside my house on Wednesday with the rest of the garbage.
A convoluted mess.
This movie felt like it tried to pull on your heartstrings too much. It hit the sides like an operation.
It like cut the heartstrings and made them cry. It was very sad.
Who said that?
Your mother.
Oh, my mother. What the fuck does she know? She's senile.
It dumb blowed. But I would only score this movie a 5.
Oof. For me, I got to score this movie a 5.2 out of 10. It was just not good. If you guys saw it, I want to know if you liked it, why you liked it, why you hated it. Let's talk about it. Leave a message down in the comments. Hit those likes. Hit that subscribe. And we will check you out next time. Only on Rounds of the Knight's Table. Rolling with my homies.
The elevators aren't working. I'm Batman.
I am Batman.
Oh, mon chéri.